You think you know great music? This is your reminder of what true genius sounds like. We're counting down the top 10 Michael Jackson and Prince songs you absolutely need to hear, going way deeper than Thriller and Purple Rain. From tracks that explode out of the gate with James Brown Fire, to atmospheric deep cuts that reveal an artist's soul, these picks prove that even legends have surprises left in their catalogs. Which songs make the cut, and why do we believe you'll never hear these two icons the same way after this list? Let's kick things off with number 10. In the 10th place, Wanna Be Startin Somethin kicks down the doors of Thriller with the kind of energy that makes you want to sprint around the block. This is Michael Jackson channeling pure James Brown urgency, layered hand claps, a rhythm section tracked at Westlake, and that wild Mama Say Mama Sa, Mama Kusa chant that is burned into pop history. Released as the 4th single in May 1983, it shot up to number 5 on the Hot 100, and its polyrhythmic hook has been sampled everywhere, from Rihanna to dance floors worldwide. If you think you know Thriller, this opener dares you to keep up. The groove is fearless, the attitude is contagious, and the adrenaline sets the bar high for everything that follows. Number 9, When Doves Cry, is the moment Prince broke every rule of pop music and still walked away with the biggest hit of 1984. This is pure Purple Rain era wizardry. Prince locked himself in the studio, played every single instrument, and then did the unthinkable. He deleted the bass line entirely. The result is a song that feels as if it's floating, raw nerves exposed, all tension and no safety net. Engineer Peggy McCreary remembered Prince erasing the bass in a late-night session, grinning because he knew nobody else would dare. 5 weeks at number 1 on the Hot 100, year-end chart champion, and the first mainstream hit to go bassless. It is not just a song, it is a dare to the entire industry, and somehow it still sounds futuristic. If you think pop needs rules, Prince just proved you wrong. 8th place goes to I Wanna Be Your Lover, the song that put a 21-year-old Prince on the map and dared the world to keep up. This is 2.5 minutes of pure falsetto swagger built on a clavinet groove so infectious, it practically dares you to stay still. Prince didn't just sing, he played every instrument, produced the whole thing, and turned his Minneapolis bedroom into a one-man funk factory. Released in 1979, it shot to number 1 on the R&B chart and reached number 11 on the Hot 100 chart, earning him his first gold single. For anyone tracing Prince's origin story, this is the moment he announced that he could do it all, and do it better than anyone else. The track is youthful, bold, and bursting with the kind of autonomy most artists only dream about. Number 7, Rock With You is pure velvet, Michael Jackson at his smoothest, gliding over a Rod Temperton groove that feels like it was designed for eternity. This is late 1979 off-the-wall era when disco was still king, and Michael Jackson was rewriting the rules. Temperton, the genius behind Heatwave, supposedly wrote the melody in a taxi, proof that sometimes lightning strikes on the move. Quincy Jones took that demo and turned it into a masterclass in restraint, with shimmering synths, a bass line you could live inside, and stacks of vocals so lush it took more than 20 takes to get that signature sheen. The result, 2 weeks at number 1 on the Hot 100, and a track that still sounds like a summer night with no end in sight. Rock With You is not just a throwback, it is a permanent invitation to the dance floor, polished to perfection and impossible to outgrow. Number 6, Dirty Diana is Michael Jackson kicking down the door of the rock arena and daring anyone to doubt his edge. This is 1987, peak bad era, and MJ wants a piece of the stadium rock action, so he calls up Steve Stevens, fresh off the Billy Idol tour, and tells him to bring the fire. Stevens doesn't just deliver a solo, he detonates one, tracking his parts in just 2 days at record 1 and layering on the kind of glam metal licks that would make a Marshall Stack blush. The result? A song that snarls and howls all panic and temptation and still manages to top the Hot 100 as the 5th straight number 1 from Bad, a feat almost nobody else has pulled off. And then there is the legend. Wembley Stadium, July 1988. Princess Diana pulls MJ aside and insists he play Dirty Diana for her, despite his fears the song might offend. He puts it back in the set, the crowd goes wild, and pop history gets another twist. That is not just a chart milestone, it is lore, proof that Jackson could cross genres and still rule every inch of the stage. Number 5, Thieves in the Temple, is Prince at his most unpredictable, blending gospel choirs, searing rock guitars, and synth-pop gloss into a single restless groove. Released in 1990 as the lead single from Graffiti Bridge, this is not background music. It is a fever dream of layered vocal stacks and swirling production, tracked at Paisley Park with enough overdubs to make a choir director sweat. The gospel influence runs deep, with Mavis Staples' spirit echoing through every harmony, while the outro's guitar solo cuts through like a warning siren. Prince does not settle for one genre here, he builds a temple out of all of them. And it paid off. Thieves in the Temple shot to number 6 on the Hot 100, despite sounding like nothing else on the radio in 1990. This is what happens when you refuse to color inside the lines, and the result is a track that still sounds ahead of its time. Number 4, Stranger in Moscow, is Michael Jackson at his most exposed, a cinematic slow burn that turns loneliness into poetry. Dropping in 1995 on the album History, this is not the moonwalk or the glove. This is rain trickling down a Moscow window, minor key string swelling. And Michael Jackson whispering to himself in a hotel room, thousands of miles from home. Written in 1993 at the absolute height of scandal and paranoia, the song channels the kind of isolation only megastars know. Fame as a fortress and a prison. You hear it in every detail. The live Rain Foley recorded outside the studio, the ghostly backing vocals barely above a whisper, and the way the groove never fully resolves. Engineer Matt Forger called the session haunting, as if Jackson was pouring his soul directly onto tape. It barely cracked the Hot 100 in the United States, peaking at 91, but hit the top 10 in the United Kingdom, proof that sometimes the deepest cuts are the ones that stick with you longest. This is late career vulnerability before the world had a word for it, a ballad that lingers long after the last note fades. Number 3, Give In To Me, is Michael Jackson at his rawest, tearing down pop boundaries and diving headfirst into guitar-fueled danger. This is 1991's dangerous era, and Michael Jackson is not content to just flirt with rock. He brings in Slash from Guns N' Roses and lets him rip the song wide open. Forget polite crossovers, the solo was captured in one take, live in the studio in Germany, and you can feel every bit of that urgency. It is not just a guest spot, Slash's guitar snarls and wails, matching Jackson's pleading vocals note for note. The track hit number 3 on the mainstream rock chart, a rare feat for an artist known for moonwalks, not mosh pits. The music video was shot in Munich in just 2 hours, no frills, all sweat and spotlight, Michael Jackson and Slash trading energy like a high voltage current. This is the sound of two icons refusing to play it safe, proving that true collaboration means pushing each other to the edge. If you ever doubted Jackson's rock credentials, this is the knockout punch. Number 2, The Ballad of Dorothy Parker, is the kind of track that separates casual fans from true Prince disciples. Dropping in 1987 on Sign of the Times, this is Prince at his most mysterious and headphone-obsessed. The story goes that Prince was laying down tracks in his home studio when a freak accident on the mixing console rolled off all the high-end frequencies, giving the drums that underwater, tape-slowed thump and muting the guitar into a ghostly whisper. Did he panic? Not a chance. He leaned into the mistake and built a whole dreamscape around it. A surreal, half-awake narrative where Dorothy Parker herself serves him fruit cocktail in a bathtub. No single release, no video, just pure cult status. Prince's fans treat this song like a secret handshake, a litmus test for who really gets his genius. Every layer, every filter, every oddball lyric is a clue to his studio wizardry. If you want to know how deep the rabbit hole goes, this is the track you put on repeat. And finally, in first place, Black Sweat is Prince refusing to coast, even 3 decades into his career. Forget the nostalgia. This is 2006, and he is in the Paisley Park lab, building a minimalist funk monster out of nothing but an MPC 2000, a Minimoog, and his own unfiltered swagger. The beat snaps and sizzles, every sound tightly coiled, with Prince's falsetto darting between digital and analog worlds. The whole track feels like a dare. Can you make a future classic with just the bare essentials and pure attitude? Apparently, yes, you can. Black Sweat only crawled to number 98 on the Hot 100, but the Grammys knew what was up, nominating it for Best Male R&B Vocal in 2007. The self-shot black and white video is all strobe lights and sweat, no frills, just Prince in full command. If you ever doubted his genius outlived the Purple Rain era, this is the knockout punch. The late period is not just worth your time, it is essential. Go listen, and then try to sit still. Across all 10 tracks, one truth hits. True icons never stop surprising you. Michael and Prince didn't just chase hits, they blew up boundaries, rewrote genres, and left emotional fingerprints on every song. That's why their catalog still sounds strange and alive. Great music always demands more of us. Drop your favorite deep cut below.